What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for entrepreneurs, where I give you the keys you need to succeed. It has been a minute. It's been a while. I know I have been gone, but I have a good reason, and it's actually the topic of today's video. So today we're going to talk about the power of perseverance. It is so important in business to persevere and make sure that you're focused. Make sure if you're going through something, you have your head on straight so that you can get through that something and ultimately excel in your business. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been going through and how I actually made it to the other side, and how I'm still pushing every day to be better and better as a business person, as a businesswoman, and how you can do the same. So you may have noticed we're in a new location. That is because I moved, okay? And why did I move? Because I got divorced. I finalized my divorce finally. It's been about 2 years, a long time coming. It was an extremely difficult process. It was probably the most difficult thing that I've ever gone through mentally, and owning a business while you're going through something like a divorce is horrible. It is hard, okay? It was difficult, but let me tell you, there are certain things that I did, certain things that I didn't do, certain things that I would change if the situation ever happened again, certain things that I can tell you on how to get through a difficult time and persevere in your business if you're going through something stressful. So me, when I actually began going through divorce, it was a very sudden thing. It was very off the wall, didn't expect it, and it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, and it affected me in more ways than I realized. It affected me physically. If you actually go back a couple years ago, you can see my skin just going through all of these changes. My skin was going crazy. I had psoriasis going crazy. It affected me mentally. I wasn't able to be my best self. I wasn't able to run my business the best that I could. It affected me emotionally. I was a hot mess, crying all the time. There were times I was literally pulling up to the studio, crying, wiping my tears, doing my makeup, going in, teaching my class, coming out, and then I would just start crying again. It was insane. The hardest thing that I've ever gone through, for sure. And it started to affect my business. So when I first started noticing it affecting my business, I told my staff initially what was going on. So most of my staff was at my wedding. They knew about all of the situations in like my home life. So I kind of had to let them know what was going on, because they could tell that I was just off. I was not peppy. I was not excited. I wasn't, doing things how I normally did them, to the normal caliber of a business owner. So I had to let them know what was going on. I told them I was going through separation. I told them why, what happened, and they were very supportive. They were there to pick up the slack. They were helping me in a lot of ways, keeping me on top of my game, making sure that nothing fell through the cracks, and it was a blessing, honestly. So that's what step one, I would say, would be tell the people who ultimately need to know. Tell the people who need to know initially, and let them be there for you. Let them help you. I also was very proactive about getting in therapy. I actually got in therapy before I even made the transition out of my home, because I knew that it was going to be a hard process. I made sure that I was in therapy, that I was aligned and in church, doing everything that I could to just be mentally strong, because I knew it was going to be a difficult process. It was also difficult financially to go from being with someone to kind of being by yourself. I had to make a lot of changes in my home life. I had to move. I had to change a lot of things. And it was difficult financially. I had to make sure that I was readjusting my priorities financially so that my business would survive. The next thing that we're going to talk about is how I sustained my business during that difficult time. So there are 3 ways that I sustained my business during this time, and it is automations, systems, and team. So I've already talked a little bit about my team and how they uplifted me and held me down during this time. Automations are the second thing. So there's a lot of automations in my business that were already in queue. Things were already set up so that I didn't have to worry about things like auto pay, things like automations with our emails and our social media, and a lot of things like that that ultimately helped keep the business afloat, so that I didn't have to physically or mentally worry about certain things, because I knew that they were already good to go. Automations are really important, especially if you're wanting things to be convenient for your customers as well, because they want automations just as much as you want automations, trust me. They want to expect the same emails every day or every week that tell them their schedule or tell them what's going on. And all of that stuff was automated, so I didn't have to worry about that. And the other thing was systems. So we have a lot of systems at the studio that help keep things running and help keep things afloat. For instance, there's systems with our cleaning and with our inventory. So everyone already has tasks that they know that they're supposed to do and things that they're supposed to check each week. And we have systems, for instance, with our inventory, where if something gets below a certain level, I'm notified, and then it's ordered, or it's already ordered automatically. So those are just an example of things that are set up to kind of help you succeed if you're going through a difficult time. Other systems that I have that are in my business are things like following up with clients. All of that is done to a T on a schedule, and my manager knows about it. So it wasn't something that I had to constantly have communication with her about, because she already knows, okay, this person had a trial, follow up with this person created an account, follow up with this person, things like that that were already set in stone. So I didn't have to think about them, didn't have to worry about them, and they continuously were being done. So I didn't have to think about them, I didn't have to worry about them, and they were continuously being done. So let's get to where we are now, is a rebuilding and reboosting my business. Because like I said, even though we have those systems and we had the automation, my business did still take a hit just because I wasn't where I was supposed to be mentally. I was literally just surviving and doing what I needed to do to get by, as opposed to growing and boosting my business. And recently, within the past couple of months, I've been in the place where I can see myself transitioning to getting back to that space of boosting and building my business and doing all of the extra things and being there and having a great attitude and building my team and all of the things that are amazing that make what I do so special that I wasn't able to do before. So some of the things that I've been doing recently to just boost my business is constantly making sure that I'm in communication with my clients, making sure that everyone knows what's going on, making sure that we have special events. For instance, we have a banana split party tomorrow to celebrate all of our dancers getting their splits, things like that. We're planning our Halloween party. I was not mentally in the space to do any of that previously. So things like that will ultimately boost the camaraderie and boost your business. We have completely been doing new marketing strategies to help us grow, doing a lot of offline marketing, doing a lot of marketing outreach through different social media platforms as well, doing a lot of influencer marketing. That's been helping my business and ultimately gonna lead to a lot of growth in the business. Things like that I wasn't really able to focus on before, but it's something that I've been able to focus on more recently. Now let's talk about lessons, things that I would do differently, okay? Because obviously I'm not perfect. I had never gone through that situation before. And there are a lot of things that I would do differently. So for instance, the timing of which I told my actual clients what was happening, and a lot of them don't know to the full extent of what happened, but the timing would probably be changed a little bit. I would probably put out a little bit more information sooner, less information, but sooner. So in my head, I was like, okay, no one needs to know, it's a personal matter. But because of the type of environment that I had created, these people were very close to me. My clients are very close to me. They care about me, I care about them, and they could tell something was up. So if they don't know what's going on, they just think that either I don't care about the business as much anymore, or I'm losing my traction. I would definitely be a little bit more open a little bit sooner about what was going on, and just let people know, you know, I might need a little bit more support. Might need a little bit of grace during this period. Another thing that I would do differently would be asking for help sooner. Like I said, I did have a really great team that was there for me when I needed, but me personally, I have a bad habit of not delegating, not asking for help, and it's something that I'm definitely learning to do now, and it's very beneficial. But back then I wasn't really asking. So unless somebody came and they offered to do something, then I would be taking on most of the things by myself. So for instance, there would be parties that we would throw or things that we would do at the studio, and I would just assume that people would be there to help me afterwards. But no, at the end of the day, like, you have to tell people what you need, how you need it done, what you need done, and be very forthcoming with what you need as a person. And that's what I would do differently, because I just don't ask for help, and I need to. That's my fault completely. So that's something that I would definitely do differently. The third thing that I would do differently would be to decrease to increase, because at the time I was actually starting new businesses and taking on a little bit more, and I didn't realize that probably the best thing that I should have done would be to just take a step back from those new businesses and just focus on the bare minimum and what I was doing to make sure that it was running efficiently, so that I didn't have any gaps or any holes in what I was doing. So that's something that I would definitely make sure that I did differently if I got into a bad situation, or I was just not in the mental space that I needed to be in to run my business. However, moving forward, I can say I'm in such a good place mentally, and I'm so happy to be out of that bad space that I was in. I'm so happy to just have a new focus and be able to fully devote myself to what I'm doing in my business, and I absolutely cannot wait to continue to do what I love. I'm so glad that God gave me the grace to just prevail through those hard times and to keep my business and to still be standing at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, everybody deals with hard times, but how you deal with those hard times is going to make the biggest difference in your business. You can either let it completely destroy you, or you can let it build you up and make you a stronger person and a stronger businesswoman, which is what I did. So I'm so happy to be here, so happy that I'm out of that situation, so happy to be through the depression, the dark times, and ready to get rolling. So if you're going through a difficult time mentally with your business, please know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and I am there rooting for you. If you need any advice or if you need any help getting through this hard time in business, feel free to check out my website, asiaonline.com. Book a call with me. I also offer one-on-one business coaching, and I'm here to help you through anything that you need. And if you have not already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Turn those post notifications on so that you can be notified every time I drop a new video. That's it, guys. Have a great day and a successful life. I will see you next time.